You're watching Plants and Politics with Gina Bonanno Limos. If you're ready to hear the truth about both sides of the aisle, what's really going on in America, and how big money interests prevent change to keep you sick, broke, and desperate, then play on. Hey everyone, this is Gina with Plants and Politics. So I wanted to tell you about a really exciting study that was just published this month, June 2020, in the oncology publication of the Journal of American Medical Association. So it's JAMA Oncology is what they call it. The study was conducted by the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center. So anyone in the United States knows that MD Anderson Cancer Center is considered to be one of the top cancer centers in the country, one of the most advanced. But they actually took data that they had collected from previous studies about heart disease and other diseases, and they decided to cross-reference it and review it for cancer mortality rates. So what they found is, well, first let me tell you about the study. So what they did was they conducted previous studies of over 30,000 men and women. And these were all men and women 45 years of age or older. So they were all middle-aged or older at the time that the study began. And it was a multiracial group, so that they would get a full cross-section of the public and not just people with specific types of DNA. And the participants they had varying levels of health and weight. So some were overweight, some were in shape, some were healthy, some had what they called iffy health status, some had diseases already. So what they did was a large subset of the group wore activity trackers. The rest of the participants, they relied on them to keep track of their activity. But a large group, I believe it was something close to 10,000 out of the 30,000, wore activity trackers. What they discovered was that many of the people in the study spent 13 to 16 hours each day sedentary. So they were either sitting or lying down just out of the day, not night. This is not nighttime hours. This is during daytime hours. They spent 13 to 16 hours a day without moving. And they discovered that those who spent the most time sitting were 82% more likely to die from cancer during their follow-up. So that is just astronomical. It is so huge. They also considered other risk factors. So they accounted for risk factors such as their age, health, smoking status, where they lived, etc. And they found that none of those factors mattered. So it literally could only be accounted for by the amount of time that they spent seated or lying down, just sedentary in any way. The good news, here's some good news that came out of it. What they found also was that for every 30 minutes that someone actually exercised, because there were participants in the study who did exercise, like intentional exercise, like did a workout, they found that for every 30 minutes that someone did that, their risk of dying from cancer fell by 31%. Now remember, everything I'm mentioning in regard to the study, it relates to cancer deaths. So not whether or not you'll contract cancer, not whether or not you'll develop cancer. That's totally different. It involves cancer deaths. So again, those who spent the most time sitting were 82% more likely to die from cancer, not just develop it, but actually die from it. Those who spent at least 30 minutes exercising each day, their cancer death risk fell by 31%. That is huge. Then on top of that, they looked at study participants who they weren't intentionally exercising. They weren't like, running on a treadmill or lifting weights, but what they were doing was things like housework or gardening or what they call gently strolling. Their cancer risk, or not cancer risk, but cancer death risk fell by 8% for every 10 minutes that they did that per day. So even just getting up and spending 10 minutes a day doing housework can reduce your risk of dying from cancer by 8%. So scary news, but also really exciting news because it just shows the power of moving your body, right? It's just so important. So hope you guys found this as interesting as I did. And as always, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching Plants and Politics. The only way to take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks again.